Hey guys, today we're going to learn about addition and subtraction equations. And this is something new, and it's something that we're going to use a lot in math in junior high and high school. So please be sure to take notes while you're watching the video. And when I say take notes, that means every example that I do, I want you writing it down in your math notebook as well. That way you can go back and look at it later if you need to. Also remember, watch this video more than once because it will be helpful for you. So I'm on page 47 in the book, and I'm just going to do some of these problems for you at the bottom, starting with number 4. I have a plus 4 equals 10. So when we solve equations, what we're doing is we're looking at what is happening with the variable, and then we do the opposite of that. So I see that my variable in this equation is a. A is my variable. Remember, a variable is any letter that we're using in algebra. So what is happening to A? Plus 4 is happening to A. So I need to do the opposite. The opposite of plus 4 is minus 4. But when we're solving equations, we have to keep both sides of the equation balanced. So whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. And you're going to hear me say that a lot. I say it a lot so that you remember it, okay? Now, what happens to this side with the A is that the plus 4 and the minus 4 cancel each other out. Because if I have a positive 4 minus 4, that ends up equaling 0. So I'm just left with A on this side. On the other side, I'm going to just subtract 10 minus 4. And 10 minus 4 is 6. And that's my final answer. Let's do another one. Number 5. Z plus 7 equals 2. Okay, now I do make my z's a little bit weird because if I don't cross my z, it looks like the number 2. And then I get confused when I have variables and numbers. Okay, so that's why I make my z's look like that. All right, so I'm going to look at what's happening to the variable. I see a plus 7. So I need to do the opposite of that. The opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. And whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. Now, the plus 7 and the minus 7, again, cancel each other out. That's what we want to happen. We want to get the variable alone. So I'm just going to bring down the z. And then I'm just going to add 2 plus negative 7. Now the signs are different, so I subtract those numbers. 7 minus 2 is 5. But the answer keeps the sign of the bigger number. 7 is a bigger number, and it's negative, so my answer is negative 5. And you can use your calculator for this part too, so that'll make it a little bit easier, okay? All right, let's keep going. Remember to pause if you need to write this down. Number 6. X plus 9 equals negative 3. So what's happening to x? Plus 9. I need to do the opposite. Minus 9. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. The plus 9 and the minus 9 cancel each other out. And then I'm just going to add the numbers on the other side. Negative 3 minus 9. So when the signs are the same, I add 3 plus 9 is 12. And the answer keeps whatever sign. So 3 and 9 were negative. My answer has to be negative. And that's my answer. Let's keep going. So now we're going to switch to subtraction equations. And that's totally fine because now we learned the rule that we look at what's happening with the variable and we do the opposite. So I see there's a minus 2 next to the variable. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is plus 2. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And if you were in class, I would be making you guys say this out loud. So go ahead and say it out loud, okay? All right, so the -2 and the +2 are going to cancel out. I'm just left with y. And then 5 plus 2 is 7. All right, let me show you something real quick. Let me show you how to check your equation to make sure you got the right answer. So what I do to check my equation is I take this number that I got for my answer and I plug it in for y here in the original problem. So I would have 7 and then just bring down the rest of that original problem. -2 equals 5. And then I work out this side that has 7 minus 2 on it. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Leave the other side the same. If you get the same number on both sides, you got the right answer, okay? If you get a different number, then you need to go back and try again because you did some wrong math or something happened, okay? That's how to check your work. Let's do a couple more of these. Number 8, n minus 5 equals -6. So I'm going to look at what's happening to the variable -5, and I'm going to do the opposite, +5. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Oops, I changed the color. Okay, so -5 plus 5 cancels each other out, and I'm just left with an n on this side. And then -6 plus 5. The signs are different, so I subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. The answer takes the sign of the bigger number. 6 is bigger, and it's negative, so my answer is -1. N equals -1. One more. Number 9. D minus 11 equals -8. So -11 is happening to the variable, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to plus 11. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. The 11s cancel each other out because one's negative and one's positive, and I'm just left with my D. And then I have -8 plus 11. So I see the signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. 11 minus 8 is 3, and the answer takes the sign of the bigger number. This time my bigger number is 11 and it's positive, so my answer is going to be positive. All right, and that's all there is to it. So please watch the video again if you need to, and I hope you took these awesome notes down in your journal. See you next time.